right, guys, if you can raise your hands for coach.
Person stuff sitting on
Gabe?
Cuonzo, start to finish, where's that rank in terms of?
For some reason I can't, hold on, I can't hear. I can't hear him. I can't hear him on this if he says something.
You got me yet, Cuonzo? I'm not muted.
Go ahead again, Gabe. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Cuonzo, just start to finish in terms of a complete game, where's that rank out of Jeremiah that you've seen?
Off the top of my head, I would say his best game. I mean, just, again, like I said to him, I thought it was his best game, in my opinion. I thought it was one of his best games. And I hadn't even looked at the turnovers yet, but I thought it was a great game for both of those guys. Just from the standpoint that lob pass that X was throwing to Tilly, even the bounce pass, we finished the season, the last 9 games, doing a lot of that. And for whatever reason, though we've changed some of the stuff we do offense, but that package, we always have that action that we do when our guards attack down here, but we hadn't seen the lob pass. And so we've just been adamant as a staff about we need to get that because it opens up other things. When you don't do that, it's hard attacking down here. And when X made that first lob, I think it opened it up until he feeds off those type of plays. And again, like I said to him, I said, I don't really care how many points, but he was effective, he was posted, he was aggressive, he was assertive. And I think it really started when the second half of the Bradley game. Though he didn't get a lot of production in the Tennessee game, I thought he was trying to post up, and this is the result of it. And hopefully he stays the way, at least mentally and aggressive.
Ben?
Cuonzo, to not only get a win today, but to play as well as you did coming out of the other day, how important was that, especially not just today, but big picture for this team to play the way they did today?
Oh, it's good. I mean, again, the game against Tennessee, that was not like us at all. And you have to give them credit. They did their job. But I said to our staff before that game, and again, not making any excuses at all, I just said, we're in uncharted waters. You're talking about guys that are ranked. There's never been ranked in college before. You get your praise and accolades, and you get a lot of pats on your back, and that can cause you to, stick your chest out a little bit instead of understanding how you got to that point, because nobody gave us anything. You're talking about being ranked. We had, we were in the top 60 in people's minds. So we got to that point via hard work, staying together and doing those things. And it just says we came out of that game, and we didn't play the way we played, regardless of the final score. It just didn't look like us at all. And I couldn't wait for that one to get over with. But I have to absorb that and embrace that like a coach and keep moving forward. It just, this is what we look like. And again, whether the shot's going or not, and I guess I got to get accustomed to turnovers. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna name one of my grandkids turnovers some kind of way, but God, it's a lot of them. But just you keep plugging, but like I told our guys, we're exerting too much energy when you turn the ball over because you're playing hard. Now you got to go extra hard because of the turnovers. But we got to figure out a way to get it corrected.
Colin?
Hey, Coach, before you hit on it, I was going to ask about the lob play to start the game and if it was a matchup thing with Arkansas, but it sounds like this is something you've wanted them to do for the whole season. But just do you think them missing Justin Smith had anything to do with the success you guys had there? How much did that impact them today?
Oh, he's a good player, but I mean, but if you're right, that's the same thing as saying we missing Michael Porter, Jonte Porter, Jeremiah Tillman. I know what it feel like to miss a good one. You talking about a guy potential no one picking the draft, and his brother, if he helped the top 5 pick, imagine missing that. That's a lot of product when you're missing. So I feel sad for him because I've always been a guy you want to go to battle with other teams' best personnel. But of course, he's a good piece. He rebounds. But with that being said, I feel more comfort if he's on the floor than a perimeter guy, because it puts us in, now all of a sudden Jeremiah's in a situation where I got to guard a perimeter guy. So if most teams have traditional bigs, I like that because we have traditional bigs. If we have a team with one big and a lot of guards, then I like that matchup. But I like for Jeremiah to go up against big guys that doesn't really shoot a lot of threes, and they're big guys. And that way we can keep them on the floor. But when you got guys that can pick and pop and do all that stuff, it stretches us out, and it's not good for most big guys.
Mitch?
Arkansas is a team that came into this game averaging, I think, 90 points a game. I know they didn't shoot well, but what do you feel like you all did defensively that was able to kind of disrupt them?
Well, the whole thing, our DNA is defense. Like I said to our guys. If we score 40, 50, 60, 70, you still have to defend, rebound, and play hard. And I just think what we did, we had to. Now, it's just amazing. Guys can play basketball everywhere. You got Note who transferred from Jacksonville. You would say that's a smaller level. Man, I don't know if there are 5 guards in this conference right now that are better off the dribble than him. I mean, and you talking about he transferring this league, that guy can go off the bounce and get to the rim. So Tate was a guy that some projected to be NBA draft pick at the point guard position. I mean, Moody as good as it gets as a true freshman. It's just really forcing those guys because their strength is playing one-on-one, getting downhill, making plays. It's just having the grit to guard one-on-one and force the next thing to force them to make a play. But also a lot of it had to do with us on the offensive side of the ball, make the ball go from side to side. Because you come down, quick shot, and it plays into their hands. That's the way they want to play. When you got a new team like this, though they're talented, you have to make them do different things defensively because they hadn't been together long enough to say, oh, here's the next adjustment. You know, and that's a small thing, but it's a big thing.
Dave.
Cuonzo, you talked a lot about too much dribbling and standing around. What did you think of the way that X did, just kind of running the offense, moving the ball around today?
I thought he was better. And I thought, a couple of times he got to continue to grow it from the standpoint. Like one time he came down transition, he had Mark in one corner and Javon in one corner. That one got to go to Mark because Mark's a better three-point shooter. And he recognized it after. But those are the next things for him, recognizing. Also, we talked to him about when he penetrates and get to the lane, it's behind you because of how they play defense. Look behind you. So if you don't have a shot, whoever it is, he's behind you. I think Mitch got his 3 up top with that. I think Drew Smith got one. And just those things, because he has the mentality to score, nothing wrong. So you want to be aggressive with that, but you also have to know in your position, you're the facilitator. You got to know where everybody is on the floor.
Sweetie.
Cuonzo, I remember you said yesterday that you'd know after the game today just how your team would respond after the Tennessee game. How do you think they did respond? Obviously, the win looks nice, but just coming out from the onset.
Oh, that's us. That's more like us. And again, I even got to say maybe the turnovers us too. We make it hard on ourselves, but that's us. I mean, you play with a level of grit, toughness, and I thought they had some conviction on the defensive side of the ball. It's like, man, take pride. I mean, if you're gonna get beat, make sure teams beat you. You don't give games away, and we gave one away. We didn't fight against Tennessee. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully we learn from that one. That's one I'll never get over, just because you got to compete. I don't care what the scoreboard says. You got to battle.
Eric.
Cuonzo, when did you know that Justin Smith wasn't going to play for Arkansas? And then did that switch anything offensive-wise for you just to attack the guy in Vanover that had a lot of his minutes?
Well, we probably, kind of game time. But, in watching film, when you saw the injury, because I watched it when they played the Auburn game, you saw the injury, and then he was obviously in the boot. And that's one of the hardest things to do when your team sees it and you're saying he could possibly play. You don't know if he's playing. Now it's like, how do we prepare and all that? And then we just got to a point where he's probably not going to play. And I just said to our guys, he's probably not going to play. Because if he's playing, he's best for them as a 5 anyway. So if he'd have played and say he started and Vanover both started, then Jeremiah would have defended him. And Kobe would have started out on Vanover. So we'd have treated Vanover like a perimeter player. So, and then the biggest thing with Jeremiah, because he's had experience in going against Mitch in practice, a guy that can shoot threes, he was familiar with it. And what we want to try to do on his pick and pop threes, switch on him, make his shots hard. And I thought our guys did a great job of getting a hand on him because he can shoot the ball. And if he dribbles, take the ball. Even if you get a foul, try to take the ball because you don't want him to get comfort shots. And because it opens things up for him. But I thought, it's always difficult because, again, for me, without Justin, I said it before, now they got more perimeter players on the floor. And now it's moving, spacing, three-point shooting, and transition running because Desi Seals as good as any in transition. Note as good as any. They have good players. When they tackle in transition, a lot of stuff opens up.
Cortai.
Hey, Coach. How important would you say it is to get a win in conference play and not get started 0-2?
Oh, it's important, but if we start 0-2, you got to find a way. Conference play is long, man. It's a long season, man. But I think more than anything, in my experience in especially maybe the last 4 years, I think that the confidence of players, it can go way down. Even a team that's 6-0, you lose a game, you would have thought that just on the pulse of our guys, you'd have thought we were 3-5. And just because that confidence is a roller coaster, and it's like, man, it's a loss, learn from it. You can get those things corrected. It's a long season. And, you can't really, address certain things like you would like to, like my high school coach or my college coach would address them, and not derogatory language or anything like that, but they can really say what they need to say. And it was okay because it was amongst teammates and family in the locker room. But nowadays, it's almost like I got to pull this guy to a side one-on-one just because, not that you're afraid of them, but just that's how they are. So you got to know who is who. And that can be delicate too, because sometimes you can't get the true meaning or point across. And it is, man. It's a very fragile state when you lose a game. I don't care what you rank, who you are. You got to have some guys in that locker room that got some grit to them, some toughness to them, and let's get this and get going to the next game.
The time for a few more. Natalie?
Hey, Coach, I remember Jeremiah Tillman told us halftime at the Bradley game, you said he needed to play with more energy. You needed more from him. How have you seen him change, since that time? And he's kind of come out here, especially with his best performance today.
Like I said, I think the second half of Bradley, I saw a change in him. And I thought he's more assertive against Tennessee. And the next step for him is just really embracing the double team. Though he doesn't turn it over, but he got to embrace that double. Like, man, I'm trying to score the ball, not just pass it. I'm trying to score it and put pressure on defenses that way. But I thought, again, that second half up until now, he's never been a demanding type guy to want the ball. So we got to get him the ball. He'll do what he needs to do with it. But if he gets to that point where he demands that ball every time down, then we're a different level of team.
Joel?
Hey, Coach, how important is this team's experience and depth when a guy like Drew Smith ends up in foul trouble with 4 fouls with 15 minutes left?
Well, I think it's good, man, but that's not a gamble I'm willing to take on a regular basis. And I think Drew has to take ownership of the way he's getting fouls. I mean, Drew's a very intelligent player, mature player. He's been in a lot of big games. It just can't happen. It can't happen.
Sorry, Coach. Also, I know it's not your goal to let a player give up however many points like Ayo did in that game against them. But are you okay with letting a team's main guy score their average in order to maybe hold others and focus on others to get a win?
Oh yeah, I think, man, if you're a good scorer, you'll score the ball. You might miss shots, but you can score, especially where the game's official. You can't hand check a guy. You find ways to score. So I think, unless you're saying there's a box and one deny him, don't let him catch the ball, that's different. But other than that, it's just you have too many talented teams, too many schemes on offense to get good player shots, especially if he's your main guy. Now, if he missed shots, that's one thing, but you can find ways to get your main guy shots. It's just a matter of whether or not they're going in.
Dave, do you have another one?
Yeah, Cuonzo, Mark had some of those turnovers today, but he found other ways to help you out. What did you think of his game, kind of bouncing back from some rough games?
Oh, he competes on defense, and we got to make it a very assertive effort to continue to get him the ball. Those turnovers, man, that's 8 turnovers. That's a lot. That has to be corrected. But he's going to compete. Mark's going to defend. He's going to compete. Going to do all that stuff. You know when Mark does something, you know where his heart is. I mean, you don't question those things. But he can't 8 turnovers, and again, hopefully, because that's not characteristic of him. So hopefully we don't see that again. But we got to find ways to continue to get him shots. I thought he passed up a couple there, and when he passed up some, sometimes he takes some tougher ones, man.
Got time for 2 more. Mason?
Hey, Coach. So after the team struggled to shoot the 3 in the last couple outings, was there more of an intentional effort to take shots closer to the basket and get the ball to Jeremiah?
No, I just think that's, again, once X made that lob play, again, like we did that a lot last year, it opens up everything else in that particular offense that we run. It opens things up. Now you're attacking down here. Now you got your shooters in the corners. And now every shot our shooters took in the corner, they knew that shot was coming. Now, I still thought we missed about 5 or 6 open ones in the corner. I did. Those shots got to go down. But those guys knew those shots were coming as opposed to offense kind of going in, I get a shot. They knew they were coming, and they got to knock them down. And they spent a lot of time working on it, and I'm confident they'll get them to go.
Last one, Mitch.
Cuonzo, I know you always, preach the value of rebounding. What went into winning that margin by 15 today?
Oh, just rebound, block out. I think the last 2 games, Bradley and Tennessee, we didn't do a great job of blocking out. We had no physical presence to them, no level of toughness when it came to blocking out, and it showed. And again, the 4 things we always talk about is defend, rebound, play hard, share the ball. Those 4 things, you do that, you give yourself a chance to win the game. And just pride in it. We spend too much time on blocking out to allow teams to dominate us on the glass. And I thought they still got some around the rim. We got to continue to work at it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Happy New Year.